Good morning to you all, good morning. I would like to say that I'm good King Wenceslas, but of course that would be a lie. It is the Feast of Stephen, 26th of December 2020. Some people will say Boxing Day. We don't have deep and crisp and even snow. We do have a bit of a frost. It's currently about -2 centigrade, which is not, not too drastic, is it really? But it does mean that I've already been out gathering winter fuel. Yeah, I've got the fire going. It's beautifully warm indoors. I meant to make this video a couple of days ago, and I meant to say I hope you all have a happy Christmas. So I'm going to say I hope you all had a happy Christmas. I don't know how many of you read English newspapers. The local folk here have some expectation that I should read them. And there's been some interesting headlines over the last few days, weeks, actually months. One of them was how Boris cancelled Christmas. Well, newspaper headlines and reality are very often different things. And what the British government cancelled was the sort of mass shenanigans that people normally have in England, in London, at this time of year. And I'm not actually sure that that was a bad thing. I spent a fair amount of time yesterday in company with some very lovely, very gentle people who were I won't say interrogating, they were very interested to know what sort of things English people would normally be doing at this time of year. And to be honest, pretty much the same as what ordinary French people would be doing, or ordinary Canadians, Americans, Germans, what have you. They would be generally celebrating, eating too much, possibly drinking more than they should, and meeting with their friends and families. This year, of course, has been very different. We've not been meeting with our friends and families. Yesterday, my host explained that he was very happy to have, well, he was being generous, he was very happy to have me with him, and all 5 of his sons. I sort of struggle to remember their names, so I won't try. I get them mixed up. And we had a wonderful meal. Rather large duck, actually. It was superb. So Boris certainly didn't cancel our Christmas, but of course the bit of Christmas that he didn't stand a chance of cancelling was the celebration of the birth of Jesus. And yesterday, being Christmas Day, 25th of December, in this part of France, it is permitted to go to some church services. Not as many as perhaps in previous years, but nonetheless, we all went to church. And I took the precaution of digging up all of the lessons in English before I went, so I had a fighting chance of understanding what the lessons, what the readings were all about yesterday. And many of you may know that, of course, the Gospel reading is that wonderful story of in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So wonderful reading. There's the dogs, and I guess that's Alan walking his dogs bright and early in the morning. Are they going to stop and bark at me? Sometimes they do. I'm a little bit far away. They probably haven't seen me. And of course that celebration, that commemoration of what Christmas is all about, continued. It cannot be stopped by a mere thing like a politician at the stroke of a pen. Oh, that was a pleasant 10-minute chat with my neighbour. I intended just to say good morning, but no, folk here. Good morning, how are you, what did you do yesterday, and all of those sorts of things. It's something that I very much like here, that people are sociable and they do have time to stand and talk, which means that I'm now cold and the fire has probably gone out and things like that, but never mind, let's get in and réchauffe. So, what bit of Christmas did the British government miserably fail to cancel? Well, they cancelled what Christmas should really be about. We all, on Boxing Day, we tend to talk about what presents we got for Christmas, and we forget that the greatest present that we received, oh dear, something's happened. The baby Jesus seems to have lost his head. Oh, that's not very good, is it? A headless baby Jesus who was born in a stable and placed in a manger. I wonder if I'm going to find a head in here somewhere. In Petit Anne Grise, a little grey donkey, of course. And, well, hopefully we all recognise that this is Mary, who must be rather upset because she's now got a headless son. How do we know this is Mary as a statue? Well, she's wearing blue, Marian blue. We know that's a cow or a bull or whatever, of course. What else have we got in here? We've got sheep, a three-legged sheep. I am learning this sort of stuff. Un mouton ou un brebis, avec une patte cassée. Now, this is a shepherd, and being a French nativity set, this shepherd is playing the sort of folk French bagpipes. Yes, the French have bagpipes too. We know this chap's a shepherd, look, because he's got a little lamb, an agneau, on his shoulders, sur son épaule. Not quite sure who this person is. I've got a feeling she's that irritating old lady that turns up at family parties and everyone says, I thought she was your aunt. Not quite sure why this lady with an umbrella and a shopping basket is in a nativity set. I'm sure someone will explain to me. Well, of course, a wise man bearing, I don't know what he's got. Is that frankincense or myrrh, or is it a chunk of gold? He shouldn't be here yet. He comes on the Feast of the Epiphany. Plenty of sheep in here. That's not Gandalf. That's a shepherd of some sort. But again, these traditional things, that's not exactly Palestinian shepherd's dress, is it? That's a rather. But you know who's missing from all of this? We're missing Joseph. Good news. Right, there's the head of the baby Jesus. I'll find some super glue later. We don't have a Joseph. I need to work out who this is, because if that is a wolf, then, oh, memory is defeating me. There is a patron saint of something or another who is associated with wolves, and I've got a bad feeling one of you is going to tell me who it is. But yes, that is the Christmas that was not taken from us. The opportunity to remember the greatest gift for all humanity, the birth in very humble surroundings of the infant Jesus. Really ought to glue his head back on, don't you think?